Evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Biggie Let's Talk on YouTube. So how's everyone going? I hope everyone's good. I hope everyone's well. 8 o'clock is it 8?
Hi.
Yes, Amber. All right,
Hey.
let me get to that. How are you? You
I'm
okay?
good. So we're
You
going
finally,
live
oh,
in like 40
I,
minutes from now? 40, 50
I love
minutes?
in the background. Is that your logo, isn't it? The VAR
It
clear.
is. Yep. That's my
Sick.
logo.
Brilliant. How are you anyway? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just getting everything together. I mean, we still have. Oh, someone just messaged me saying I didn't send them the link. Hold on.
God, do you think?
Let me send the link. Now, I know I put it a lot of places. I should be able to find it pretty quickly. There it is. How you doing?
I'm good. So finished work. Obviously, like do work on the sly. I'll be sending out everything, like doing it on social media, posting stuff. But then otherwise, yeah, all good. Can't complain. Fair play, fair play. How about you? What did you do
Yeah.
today? Okay, we're gonna
Huh?
get to that. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
let's start things off. Tell us about your background. Where are you from and your upbringing?
Well, oh, wait, hold on one second. Hold on one second, okay? Because are we starting right now? I thought we're starting at 3 Central.
What's the time there now?
2.
That's me and my Eastern and oh, I thought you were. I thought you were 5 hours behind. No,
No, no, is it?
is it 4 hours?
Yeah, no, it's 5. It's 5, 3 and 8.
So hold on. If it was 4 hours behind, 8 o'clock, it'd be four. Oh yeah, so it's enough hour. Don't you want to start now?
We can. I definitely want to make sure I send this link to this person that just asked. Though I want to make sure she has it. So hold on, just one second. Then we can get started right now. That works.
Okay, cool. Go and send your link out. I'll carry on jibber jabbering.
Okay.
So guys, make sure you follow Amber as well. She's on an amazing journey herself. She's also a
Yes.
coach. Gonna get into her coaching in a little bit. But yeah, like, subscribe, and share. That's the
Yes.
magic. That's the magic thing. That's what I have to start remembering to say instead of saying follow, share, and subscribe.
And I'm just trying to make sure I found a better way to be able to share this with her. I'm just sharing it with my whole
See,
Facebook.
you can't really share on this, can you?
You can, yeah.
How?
So on the top right, it says stream to your audience. And then I can choose my audiences that I want to go live for and stream to.
I haven't got that. I've got more at the bottom.
Hmm.
Destination settings. I've got a little pound sign. That's why that thing's come up there. Don't know what that is.
Wow. I
Recording
don't know why,
style.
but yeah, definitely I got it. I just looks like I'm doing it right now and I've just done it. Okay.
Hold on. Oh, view on Facebook. I don't know what that is.
There we go. It's probably not because you're the host. Maybe that's why it's not working the same for you.
Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. That's my fat fingers pressing buttons.
Yeah. Oh, where did he go? Okay. I knew you'd be back.
Okay, are you ready to start?
I am. Yeah. So sorry. I didn't realize, the difference.
Now I always get my US times and everything mixed up.
No problem.
Okay, Lexa, how's it going? Hope you're good. Lexa's in the house. We see you.
There we go. Hey, Legs. Okay. So people,
Oh,
they'll see that we started, at a different time. It's fine.
okay, Amber, tell me about your upbringing. Where were you born and where were you brought up?
I was born and raised here in Houston, Texas. So Houstonian my whole life, and on the northwest side. So yeah, my whole family. I mean, I have a big family, right? And so we're all in Texas mostly. Okay, we're between Houston and like the Dallas Fort Worth area.
And are you like African Americans or where are you originally from? What's your origin?
Yeah, origin. I am African American. I think we're all African American. But yeah, yes, born and raised here, but yeah, roots beginning of time. I think the first person, we go
Good.
back to Africa. So
So what was your schooling like? Obviously in Houston. Ain't Houston a bit kind of like
yeah, Houston is huge.
it is,
Houston is
yeah?
one of the fastest growing cities in the United States right now. Oh, we were already one of the largest, but now we are growing so rapidly. I don't know. I'm laughing. Alexia said she has Indian in her family. We all say that.
You know
Uh,
that.
no, we really do. But yeah, Houston is bustling. Like it's a melting pot. We have everybody here. Everything here is great for business. So a lot of people are moving here to have greater opportunities. But yeah, I have been here in my schooling. I graduated high school here, of course, and then I went to University of Houston downtown, and that's where I got my psychology degree.
But is it Houston like Texas?
Yeah, Houston, Texas. Yes.
And that meant to be like a proper racist area? Or was that just like
Well, no, I mean, there's racism everywhere, right? But
everywhere?
no,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I think kind of what you look for is what you're gonna find. So
100%.
there are a lot of good people in Houston, people that support you. They don't know you. We have good Southern hospitality, and so you're gonna get a lot of support in Houston. So
And
if you're looking
it's a
for
big
racism,
state,
you
isn't it?
definitely find it, huh?
It's a really big state, isn't it?
It is. Texas is huge. Yes, yes.
Brilliant. Okay, wait, so you done your schooling, you done your education. What degree did you get?
Bachelor of Science in Psychology.
Easy.
It was awesome. I mean, it was exactly what I was supposed to be doing, right?
Okay,
Like
so
the
so
whole.
I forgot to ask you, how many siblings have you got?
I have three siblings, three living siblings, right? So, grew up in a house with my older sister and older brother, and I'm the baby. And then my eldest brother, he lives in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and there's one older sibling that she passed away when she was 2. So I never got the opportunity to know her or anything like that. I'm the baby and she was the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then mom and dad?
Yeah, mom and dad. So my parents were together my entire life until my father passed away. So he passed away back in 2013. I had just had my second child, and 3 months later, my dad passed away from liver cancer.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it was cirrhosis of the liver. Definitely, that's why I'm paying more attention to my liver these days. But but yeah, that's that. My parents, they had a loving marriage all the way until his dying day.
Fair enough. Okay, so I'm just trying to build a picture. What was your friend circle like when you're growing up? Because obviously you had this like, so you went to college. I think in America you graduate at college, don't you? You don't go to university.
Right. And I think I don't know if it's the same thing because I used to work for a global company and people would talk about university and what did they call it, vacation? Like when they would take all this time off and things just we don't do in the
Yeah,
US. I wish we did. And so university, we also call it university. So college is your after high school, you go to college for
yeah.
4+ years. That's what I did.
Okay, and then what was your friend circle like at that time?
You know what? Actually, I didn't really have a friend circle at that time because I had already taken a break. I had already taken a break off from school, right? So at this point, while I'm going to college, I have 2 children. Yeah, she said same thing. So university and
Yeah.
college. I already had 2 children and I was married. So there was no friend circle while I was going through college. I was a mom, I was a wife, I was working and going to school.
And how old are you now?
I'm 36 now.
No, no, now at that time.
Oh, at that time I was 25, 24, 25. Yeah.
Okay. So where did the boozy when did the boozy start?
When I was 11, maybe 10, 11. That's
No, really.
yeah. That's when I started drinking.
What
Honestly,
properly?
huh?
What, just having a little taste at the dinner table or
No, I was with family and
yeah.
friends. And I'm 6 years younger than my brother, so and 7 years
Mm.
younger than my sister that I grew up with, and so they had to drag me along a lot as a child, and so I was dragged along to a
I'm
party.
exactly like that. So when I was younger, I was exposed to things that I thought, hold on, I shouldn't even be looking at this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
right. You don't think about it at the
Yeah, I
time,
know.
but later in life, you're like, man, I had no business being there or seeing those things. So that's how it was. There was like no ill will of, giving a kid a drink. People do that now. They'll give a kid a drink thinking it's funny,
Yeah,
or let's laugh at it, but they don't recognize that they're really introducing something into that child's spirit that shouldn't be introduced.
definitely.
Yeah.
And then where did they go from there?
From there, honestly, look, when I took that first drink, I was cool with it. I was looking forward to it because, like, growing up, we had the party house,
Yeah,
like my family, like I said, I have a big family, I have a close family. And my family, the adults didn't spend their time in the club and stuff. Like they would be at the house. They'll be safe at home and, turning up at home and drinking and things like that. So us kids, we would go in the back room and stuff. And really it was this thing of I can't wait till I get to go in there and drink with everyone else. Like some kids they're like, I can't wait to sit at the big, the grown folks table. But for
yeah,
us, it had nothing to do with the dinner table. It had everything to do with I want to drink. Like pour me up a shot too. And that's really what I wanted growing up because I knew that was community.
And
You
what were
know,
your siblings? Were they drinkers?
Yeah, yeah. My whole family, nothing on them, but yeah, my whole family. I don't know how far back it goes, but in my generation, what I've seen, everyone are drinkers.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
still,
still. Oh, definitely, still. Yes.
really. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you realize it was a problem?
I realized it was a problem a long time ago. It just wasn't something that I was strong enough to fight
You don't want
against.
to accept it. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't want to accept it. You think of people who say they're alcoholics and you think of people, stealing from family or pawning off their belongings to get a drink and stuff like that. It wasn't that. There's a thing called functioning alcoholic, and that's really what we did. But I didn't realize that it was a problem because, it was love. That's
yeah,
what love was to me. Us coming together, eating and drinking. That's family. That's life. And so I didn't see it as a problem.
yeah.
um
Because you're with your friends and your family, and you think this is brilliant.
exactly, and it's glamorized, right? People,
Yeah,
everyone loved to drink with us, everyone loved to hang out with us. Amber is a good time. I'm still a good time, not drinking, but people will call me just because they knew we're going
yeah.
out. Call Amber, she's gonna cut
And
up.
and your good jokes.
Yeah, good jokes, good drinks, laughs and dancing. Like I'm gonna do that every time.
Fair enough. See, because the thing is, when you're having a good time, you don't actually want to admit it, do you, within yourself?
Wait, say it again.
So when you're having a good time, you don't really want to admit it within yourself. I mean, I'm wrong because you just think, you know what? I'm having a good time. I'm out with good people, and people are telling you, listen, relax up. But
Yeah.
then you're like, hold on, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've always had this thing of consequences. Like I don't like getting in trouble still to this day. I don't like getting in trouble. I don't want to deal with consequences. And so that was removed from me when I would drink. I'd be like, just free, do
Yeah.
whatever I wanted. I had to think so much. And so, yeah, I didn't want to lose who I was if
But
I started.
you know the drinking. Did it lead to anything else like weed, coke, crack, anything like that?
Yeah, I did pills before. Definitely because I was drinking it's not much more you'll say no to. So definitely I've done pills. And when I say pills, I mean things like ecstasy.
Ecstasy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Was that easy? Is that addictive? Can you like come off it straight away, or
Yeah,
are you
no, you
hooked on it?
can get 'em off of, yeah, it wasn't addictive for me. People have different, what they're
Yeah,
prone to be addicted to. It just was another thing to remove my like better judgment. It
fair
was just
enough.
another thing to allow me to let my hair down and not think about what I was doing. That's really all it was.
That is mad, crazy.
Yeah.
And then what was your friends like around you at the time? Were they like, or were they just like you're happy, so you're happy though, so just go with the flow?
Yeah, no, everybody loved it. Like Biggie, it was not a bad thing. Like I said, again, it was glamorized. So any friends I hung out with, I went out with, most of my friends are family, anybody.
They with
They
me,
loved
yeah.
it. They knew that it was going to be a turn up and there was nothing bad to be said about it. Even the next day, if you didn't remember and everybody's like, girl, you did this and oh, you
Yeah,
remember that. And it's like, I don't remember any of that. No one saw that as a bad thing. Like, it's wild.
that's just like you've had a good night.
That's it. It was a good
Yeah.
night. It was a good night.
So you know what? I'm trying to find these questions I sent you. I can't find them.
Look, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not, and this is just, I'm not gonna say God gave me this, but I'm not a preparer. It is not good. So you sent me things and I was like, I'm a
Nah, it's all good. Okay,
slow person.
when did you get involved in your church? Could you what's your church called? Give them a shout out.
So for the past 13 years, I've been a part of a ministry called the Word of God Christian Fellowship. And that's under the under shepherd pastor Eric Hoskin. So I love
Mm-hmm.
him so much. I was a part of that ministry for 13 years. I'm still family with that ministry. And actually, I want to say this. I want to send my deepest condolences. We just lost a very valued member from that ministry. She was head of our praise team for many years and things, and her name was Tiva Robinson. And so
Condolences.
yeah, yes. And so she passed, Tiva Robertson. And so I just wanted to send condolences to the family. And I love them so much. And my whole church family. It's a lot of hurting people and broken hearts over that right now. She's gone to be with the Lord. And so now I am a active member of Impact Ministries of Houston. And that's under the pastor and co-pastor Alan Randall and co-pastor Tamara
Okay,
Randall.
let's just take it back. So who got you involved in church? Was it a family thing? Was it like again? Was it like the whole family used to go on a Sunday?
Yeah, actually it was. So growing up, we didn't have to go to church. Like it wasn't a thing. Like I wasn't a church kid growing up.
Yeah,
But I always had like this spiritual connection with God. Like I knew who God was and my mom, and they put that in us. We just didn't go to church. We started going to church not long before my dad died. He found this. Well, we played volleyball, but so that's another thing. My family, we're gonna hang out, right? So we played
yeah.
volleyball every Sunday, and we would play, eat, and drink, and have a good time. And one of the members of the church had came and just introduced themselves to us and invited us to church. So that was that church's 1 year anniversary, and we joined then. And
Brilliant.
since then, it was history. I was pregnant with my first child, and I remember walking down the aisle with my hands up, like surrendering and going up and joining church. Yeah, so that was 13 years ago.
Okay, so when you were drinking, were you with your partner as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. I never dated anyone that didn't drink because, like, how are we gonna hang
How are you
out?
going to be compatible?
How are we
And
gonna
then
hang out? Like, what are we gonna do on the weekend or after work?
what was your partner like? Was he like choose
So
it?
I'm divorced, right? I'm divorced, and we go back, and probably alcohol was the root of that issue.
Yeah,
Alcohol, on both our ends. But every partner that I've been with, they've been, I think, in love with my energy and personality
yeah.
and the fact that I can go have fun. Like there's no way I'm the girl that you're gonna take somewhere and she's not, talking to people and get along with people and having a good time. So yeah,
Okay,
exactly. I'm even at the same time.
so he was a big drinker as well.
Always, everybody that I've any serious relationship that I've had, of course, they've been a big drinker, and we bonded over drinks.
Brilliant. Okay, so you realized there was a problem when? Did you wake up one morning and think this don't feel right?
Well, I did that plenty of mornings with the hangover. This don't feel right.
Yeah.
But no, what happened is I was going through a pretty um ugly emotionally breakup at the beginning of 2024. And it was something that I couldn't wrap my mind around. Like I had gone through breakups. Like it's just what happened. I would get in these relationships that really God never even told me I should be getting into. But I'm just trying to make things fit because I was just didn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to make it fit. And this breakup happens, and it seems like I am shattered. Like I just couldn't function. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. And so I booked a trip to Mexico because when you're sad, you go drink,
You know
go
that.
travel, get away, run away from the
Yeah.
problem. So I went to Mexico and had a good time and all of that. And when I got back, I didn't drink anymore. It didn't fix anything. And I was starting to realize, I'm like, what is wrong? And I'm praying like, God, what is going on? And really, it just started revealing to me, it wasn't the guy that I was so messed up over. It was like the connection being severed. It was the cycle of bad relationships. It was, the alcohol not fixing it. And I was hungover. I was feeling like crap when I got back. And
So
so,
hold on. So hold on. So you went to Mexico for a
yeah,
jolly,
yeah.
and that's where you think the transformation happened.
Yeah, I think the transformation happened. I'm in Mexico, unhappy. I'm far from my problems, in the physical sense. And like, it's like the relationship was killing me and the breakup and stuff was killing me. But really, me going to Mexico, I was killing me for real. Like, I was having alcohol poured down my throat. Like, I was trying to get rid of the pain.
Did you go
And
by yourself?
no, my sister, she went with me. I mean, that's my ride. I don't even say ride or die. That's my ride
Yeah.
and ride harder. Like, ain't no
Yeah.
dying. She's with me. So I was like, hey, let's go to Mexico. And she knew I was going through something. She's like, okay, let's go. And
Yeah.
we
Fair
that
enough.
and we went. And we had a good time, but I just remembered like, man, this is fixing nothing. Like nothing at all. And that was it. Came back home and started praying like for God to take the taste of alcohol out of my mouth. I went to my dad's gravesite and prayed, and I would always set up two chairs, like as if, and it's just my thing. I would set up two chairs, and essentially it's like my dad's spirit. He would sit in one chair, and I would
You
sit in the
connected,
other.
yeah.
Yeah, and I would journal and read my Bible out there. And it took a long time to get to that point to even be able to go to his gravesite. So I would do that, and I would just let the wind blow my Bible. And I'm telling you, I still have the video of the day that I recorded that this happened. The wind blew the Bible to Isaiah 55:8. And it is invitation to the thirsty. That is what it is.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, God is so real, so powerful that I'm crying. I'm asking him to remove the taste of alcohol, remove this thirst from my mouth, and the Bible blows to Isaiah 55:8, invitation to the thirsty. And that was it. That was it. I'm talking. I quit drinking cold turkey. I haven't had a drink since my last drink, which
So okay.
was
So how many days has it been?
today makes 520 days. So next month will be a year and a half.
One more. One more. One more.
520 days. 520,
520 days.
yes.
And could you go 520 minutes before?
No.
I tried to say 520 seconds.
I drink daily, Biggie. I drink daily.
So you know that video, the one when you're in the red top and you're like lying in bed and you're struggling in pain. What stage was that at?
When I'm lying in bed struggling pain, do you mean before I stopped drinking? Because I went through
No,
that
you know
after.
the video. You know the video that I posted on my Instagram page.
Yeah, okay. I had already stopped drinking.
Oh, you
I'm
already stopped?
lying in bed. I had already stopped drinking. I do a lot. I journal, but what I figured out would help me to do things quicker is I would just record how I'm feeling. And
Yeah.
so that's a lot of those videos of me just recording my current thoughts and how I'm feeling and what's happening around me and things. So when I look back at those videos, like I told you, like I cried when you shared that video, because I'm like, man, the grace of God, that where I am, I don't pay attention to how far I've come, right? I just always think about how far I need to go.
Forward. That's
Yeah,
100%.
but that video really, that video, it just brings me back to the fact that I can
This is
see
amazing.
where I've come from. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you start coaching? And what when you say coach, do you mean like coaching people, or do you mean like a coach in the gym?
No, definitely not a coach in the gym. Definitely not. It's a spiritual gym. Okay, you
Yeah.
gotta work
Okay.
out. You gotta, strengthen yourself in the spiritual realm. So, no, it's definitely a coach, a life coach, and then I also help like on a business end as well, business consulting. But I started coaching. Honestly, I started coaching back in 2017 when I started a ministry called Throne Through and Through. And it was a blessing to many. It was helping many, but I was still going through a lot, and wasn't well versed in spiritual warfare. And so knowing that there's so many things that I'm doing for the kingdom, you're going to be attacked. And if you haven't paid attention to your root issues, they're just going to come back and take you out. So that's kind of what happened. That ministry ended, and I started coaching again officially last June, is when I started taking clients.
Are you doing any kind of like work with alcoholics at the moment, with
I
charities or anything?
No, I have a lot of people that reach out to me, just really for encouragement. But
Okay.
I hadn't even created a program that I've put out for people for alcohol, specifically. It's really just getting down to the root of whatever your issue is, like getting clarity, because we're so blinded by these things. And so it's more blanket, it's more clarity and alignment. Being a drunk was not aligned with who God had created me to be. And I wasn't going to be able to do the things that He set forth for me drinking. It wasn't happening.
Fair enough. Okay, what's VAR salute? Was it VAR clearance? No.
Yeah, so it's vary, but it's spelled, because it's a variation. It's VARY instead of VERY. And so it's very clear solutions. And what that is, well, God gave that to me, the VARY. And it's because we all vary, right? Like I vary from you, you vary from
Yeah.
me, everybody else in your family. And so since we are all different, the solutions that we need are different. Right. So there's not one client where I would do the exact same thing with as the last one, because you vary, and your background varies, and your struggles and your
100%.
struggles vary. Yeah, it all varies. So people give you like a blank statement of how to fix something, and that doesn't work for everyone. But see, for me, the solutions, even though they vary, it's clear because it's from the Bible, and it
Right.
doesn't have to be something that I already know. We will seek God for
Mhm.
revelation and for the answers that we need. So that's why it's very clear.
And where do you get most of your clients from? Is it through the church, or is it through word of mouth?
Through word of mouth, yeah. See, I just started with, I'm with a new ministry right now, but I realized that Christians and churches, they kind of are having a hard time with being real and transparent about things. So if somebody gets up and says testimony, it's kind of like a blanket testimony, or
Yeah.
I didn't pay my bills and God paid them. No, my testimony is, I'm laid out, with no clothes on. My
True.
testimony is I can't remember the day before, or I didn't get up and feed my kids, or, I did things I'm not proud of. I was rooted in sin, and, it's real. It's real. It gets deep. So I haven't really had the opportunity to share that in like church spaces because it may be a little too raw.
And are you still in touch with any of your friends, the ones that used to go drink you, even though most of them were your family?
Family, yes, still, our relationship,
Obviously, yeah, family.
but friends, no. There's no one that I would say that was just a friend that I'm still in connection with. Yeah. And
In
I'm
the old
probably
circle.
here that like, well, Amber, really? But don't know, everything changed. So even I can't even think of who I'm still actively around outside of family that is living that wants the old Amber back. A lot of people want the old Amber back, including
Yeah,
family.
I can imagine.
Yeah, including
Everybody does.
family. It makes people uncomfortable. Like, why are you stopping what we've always
Yeah,
done? Like, what's wrong with drinking? I get that question all the time. What's wrong with drinking? I'm like, no, nothing. If that's what you want to do, but the Bible
that's it.
says to be of sober mind. And so that's in every way. I'm trying not to be influenced by anything that is not of God, honestly.
Brilliant. Yeah, so the old friends, obviously, they just want a good time. They just want to party and drink, don't they?
That's it. That's it.
100%. They're like, oh, you're the life of the party. Come out with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
But
a
when
lot of
you're
people
broke
that
up,
want
when
just
you're broke
that.
up, but when you're broke up crying in bed, then nobody want to know, do they?
Come on, no. Nobody sees that, knows that. I mean, I've always been a believer of Christ and spiritual, so the same people that would drink with me could also call me for advice. They would also
Yeah,
call me for prayer. Like, but it was a double life, like you can call me and we can go do some wild stuff, but you can also call me and we're gonna pray and declare some things off of you. And so
yeah,
it did not mesh well with my spirit.
fair enough. And on the church side now, do you deal with a lot of alcoholics on that side?
No, I haven't done any type of therapy. I was like for alcohol specifically. So what I realized, Biggie, is that once I stopped drinking alcohol, because that was like what was covering up a lot of stuff. And
Yeah,
so when I stopped drinking alcohol, it was a whole world that needed to be addressed. Like going all the way back to my childhood of what I thought love was, what I experienced, how I felt like I needed to be, how I self-abandoned. Like all those things were uncovered once I stopped drinking. And it was like my world really seemed like it shattered because everything I knew didn't make sense anymore.
okay,
Yeah.
your sister that went to Mexico with you, did she feel the same experience as well?
Well, everybody in my family, most people in my family, they started talking to me about stop drinking. They're like, I'm going to stop too, or I'm going to slow down, or things
Really?
like that. Yeah, everybody, it started having a ripple effect, but it just didn't last long. Um, and I think it's because it's painful. It is painful to stop doing what you've always done.
100%.
Yeah, and trying to, and it's scary. A lot of people want to stop doing whatever they do, but it's like, who am I going to be? How am I going to function with these people? How am I going to do all this if I don't do what we've always done? And so it has not been easy. I mean, I'm around alcohol daily, because we all drink daily.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm not drinking, I'm still around it. I'm still seeing it, but I'm just made a resolve. God gave me strength to not really want that.
And are you still around them now?
Yeah, definitely.
And what are they like? Because obviously they must still be around you. Do they still want you to come and party with them?
Yeah, everybody will, I believe truly. People say they're proud of me, but I think everybody would be happy if they saw me take a drink because it would take a lot of
Yeah,
pressure off
true.
of paying attention to what I'm saying, and what God is doing through me. Um, right now you just see it and you're like, I'm not an alcoholic. You're
Yeah.
thinking all that. But the more I speak, you're like, man, I might have a little problem.
So,
Amber's saying
what
this
about
and
like
that.
Christmas and Easter? Would you have a drink then?
No. So, and I'll tell you why. Because I've, there's plenty of times when I was like, man, now that it's not running my life anymore and things
Yeah.
like I should be able to have a drink if I
You'll
go
be
to
able
a
to
wedding.
control
I
it.
love
Yeah.
a wedding, and stuff, and I want to drink. And there was one time where I thought I was going to drink. Like I had in my head, I'm gonna have a drink. And then I immediately thought to myself, like, what is it? What is the point? Like, what are you going to accomplish by having that drink? Because just one drink, I can be social without a
Yeah.
drink. So it has nothing to do with just having a drink in my hand. It has everything to do with what that drink is going to do for me. It is going to
Hmm.
remove my inhibitions. It is going to remove all the overthinking and let me just be careless. So I don't want that.
So apart from your father, has alcohol damaged anyone else you know? Any loved ones or any friends?
Uh, yes. So it specifically, my dad is the only one that I could say, he died from cirrhosis of the liver, and that was really God showing us, hey, you do this every day, even if it's just
This
beer.
is what's gonna happen. It's gonna broke you up.
Yeah, exactly. It could tear your body up. And I saw that. Now other health issues and things like that I'm sure we all have experienced on the back end, and we're able to fix it. Alcohol is a root, right? Because you'll be drinking and you're gonna eat bad that night. You're gonna tear up some stuff that's no good for you. Or the
Definitely.
next day, if you can eat, and you're not too hungover, or in looking bad and feeling bad, then you're gonna I need something greasy, or I need to bite the dog that bit me. And you're gonna keep drinking and you're gonna keep eating, and you're not taking care of yourself. You know,
100%.
so
Okay, I just want to big up Coach Gail Benson. That's who nominated you, wasn't it?
it is, yes.
Big up
Hey, Coach
Gail.
Gail, thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate you.
100%. Big up Gail. Okay, sorry, but I didn't then. What were you saying?
No, that's all. It's just we haven't specifically pinpointed it to alcohol, but if you were to remove alcohol from everyone that had in my family that has some kind of health ailment, then I'm sure you would see their lives get better, their health
See,
get
I don't drink at all, right? But then I don't
okay.
need to drink. When I go out with my friends, I'm always the driver, always.
Yeah, I am
And
now. Like I'm going to
if I do drink, I just have two. That's it.
two friends.
No, two drinks. If I do have a drink,
Oh, okay, I got you. So it'll
I
be
have
less.
two, and that's it. Nothing else. But otherwise, I'm always driving, and I'm always one of these people that when I drive, I want to make sure I pick my friend up, and I want
Hmm.
to make sure I drop them off to make sure that they're home safely. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's on my head. Otherwise, I can't sleep at night. I'm just one of those people.
yeah. Yeah, I'm the designated driver now too. So yeah, and look, they don't really like it. I'm telling you, we just went out. Me and some of my family members went out maybe a week ago or 2 weeks or something, and on the way home, everybody's out of there, and so I'm driving. I have gospel playing, and first they'll be like, "Oh my God, like here you go with this," but by the end of it, everybody's jamming, because
It's true.
you bring God to the atmosphere, it just
Come
changes
to the
it.
party, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. What? Sorry, just reading girls' messages.
Oh, yeah. That's so good.
Okay, so what's next for you, Amber?
What's next for me is just continuing down this path. I mean, my kids have seen something different. Me growing up, I didn't see anything different. If you're happy,
How
sad,
old are you? How old are your kids now? What were they like when you were like mash up every night, every day?
yeah, they they didn't have the freedom to express how they felt at that
Yeah,
time, right? Because I wasn't even a parent where I could just um well, we would communicate. Like when I'm sober, I was one parent. And when I wasn't sober, I was another parent,
yeah.
so that wishy-washy type of parenting is bad on a kid. So my kids are super happy now that they get this one consistent woman. If anything, maybe sometimes I'm sad, and and I tell them, I have to pray through this and things like that. Like they see the whole process. I'm not withholding anything from them. So my oldest is 13, and then my son, he's about to turn 12 next month, and then I have 3-year-old twins.
Wow.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
don't know nothing, do they? Obviously, they weren't around there, were they?
They weren't around. You know what? God spared them because I didn't know I was pregnant, and I was drinking and doing everything the whole time I was pregnant with those babies. And I didn't know I was pregnant. And
Really?
essentially, like, they saved my life. Like, I had to slow down a lot of stuff. Like, I was in Vegas pregnant, no idea. If you saw pictures and videos, you wouldn't know that I was pregnant. And so God really just spared them and didn't let like all of my sins and the fun that I was having mess my babies up. So I'm grateful for that.
Okay, so even though you stop drinking now, and then you're more of a believer in Jesus Christ, are you still having fun when you go out?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have fun. So what I had to realize is that it's just not the same kind of spaces where I would have fun, right? Like
Yeah.
I would go to networking events, and I would do things, to push my career forward. And everybody had a drink, or the music's too loud, or it's just
Yeah.
something like, how am I supposed to connect with people? You're drunk.
Yeah.
You're not gonna remember me tomorrow, so now I started creating and having these events called a sober, not somber experience. Because somber
Yeah.
is like,
I saw that. Yeah.
yeah. And so what it is it's the great energy, is very intentional, you're present, you have clarity, and you still show up. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a drink in your hand to be remembered, or to be able to speak
True.
freely. Yeah, because a lot of people, I'm telling you, even at networking, they can't even give a pitch on what they do without, I got to take a few
Having a
shots,
drink. Yeah.
nerves off of me. And it's like, you know what? If you walked in your full authority, you wouldn't even have any nerves. You would be bold, and you just walk up and say, this is who I am. This is what I represent. And I don't need a drink to tell you that.
True. Yeah, so I know friends of mine that they're drunk, they get clotted, they get mashed up, and
Hmm.
then the next day they're asking me, "What did I do? What did I say? Did I do anything bad to that person, or did I say anything rude to this girl, or whatnot?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Bro, you need to really control your drinking, man."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's scary.
It
That is
is.
scary. I experienced that even as a child, and saying things that should have been addressed, and it was like alcohol was the reason no one remembered, what was going on. And so as an adult, so I call it now. It's like zero proof. I'm living a
Yeah.
zero proof life. Like, I don't need proof of what I said or what I did, because I'm there. I'm present. I am clear. So no one can say, "Oh, you was doing all this." No, it wasn't. I know exactly what I was doing because I'm sober. And
Okay. So you did say, when's the last time you did that? When's the last time you had a drink? I know you said you went through the stage. I can handle it now. I can control it. But have you had a drink since?
no, I haven't had a drink since January 20. So actually, I think haven't had a drink longer than what I'm saying, but I haven't had a drink since January 22nd. So, well, I drank on January 22nd, and then January 23rd of 2024 was the first day that I didn't have a drink at all.
Was that in Houston, or was that in Mexico?
No, that was in Houston. I was back. I came back from Mexico.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so touch on VAR. Touch on your VAR. Very, very. Your company again. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So I have very clear solutions, right? And I'll help people struggling with, chaos and confusion. Because at the end of the day, that's what it looks like. And we'll get down to the root, so they can rise boldly and live the life that God has really called them to live. But I also have very clear transformation ministries. And that's a faith-based nonprofit that I started so that I could really not even focus on like the business side of things, because coaching is a business, right? And that's how
Yeah.
but take care of my kids and things, and
Of
plan
course.
on speaking on stages and things like that. But for the transformation ministries is to really be able to, have these Bible studies and talk to people and really help them get to the root spiritually, and help them become aware of what's really happening over their life in the spiritual realm, and help them to put on the full armor of God so that they can stay on alert.
Um,
Like Biggie, my laptop wasn't working before this, right?
yeah.
Immediately I called out who it was. That's the enemy. He wants me to be distracted and to be off
100%.
before we do this. And I was like, it's not going to happen. I will find a way. And it worked out. But I know a lot of people would have just like, oh my God, and stressed out and fallen apart. And that helps no one. Like, it's a spiritual, or everything is spiritual. I'm sorry. I know some people think I'm just over the top with it, but it's real.
Nah, it's
It's
cool. It's
spiritual.
true. It's true. Okay, so apart from the VAR solution, are you doing anything else? And when you
Um,
when did you speaking? How do people approach you, or do you approach them?
People approach me. I really need to get to the point where I'm approaching others. But because right now I'm creating the stages that I'm speaking on, right? With my events
Yeah.
and not somber experiences. Um, so I'm creating those opportunities to speak. But I mean, I am open. Like, if anyone sees this and they want someone to come speak about any of the topics that we've discussed here, or just want to know more, they just reach out to me, because ultimately, since I was a little girl, being a speaker is what I wanted to be, what I felt I was supposed to do. God gave me a voice, and so I'm using it. Yeah. And she said, raising 4 kids. Yeah, I'm raising 4 kids. Like, and I'm doing my best to raise them the way they should go, not raising them like I'm just here to control you. You're my child and you need to listen. It's like, what is God saying to you? Like, I asked my daughter that, like, well, what do you feel like God is telling you or talking to you about? Because at the end of the day, she's gonna have to live her own life. So if I'm controlling every aspect, I'm setting her up for failure. So we just do a lot of talking like that. And it took a while to get to that point, but I realized that's what I didn't have, and no fault to my parents. We do the best we could do. So that's what
I
I
was
didn't
just going to
have.
say, obviously, you didn't have the upbringing with them, did you, beforehand?
No, definitely not. Like I didn't have a voice. I'm still
Yeah.
trying to find my full voice as an adult. I just got comfortable with saying no. Once I realized that, hey, Jesus said no to people all the time. And
Yeah.
he didn't let just anybody do anything. And so I'm just now getting to that point where I say, boundaries are not just a good thing, they're a God thing.
Well, you're getting a lot of love here. You got Toretta Smith. Love you, Amber.
Oh,
Proud of you.
thank you. I love you. That's my carpool partner. We get in the car and we'll just be talking about God and just letting
Brilliant.
the Spirit have His way. So yeah.
Excellent. So, have you been, apart from Houston, have you been around America to do any talks?
Uh, no, I've never gone far out of Texas to talk. I've been invited to retreats before. And that was when I was doing Throne Through and Through. So many years ago, I was invited to be a speaker at a retreat. And then I've been a part of different conferences, like Lexia Crawford is talking. She had a conference and I traveled there and spoke. But yeah, no, I haven't gone far. I'm
Okay.
trying to.
Is there anyone from your old crew, your circle, that's part of your ministry now, and they're like, you know what, you were right, and we made the right choice?
No,
Or are
no,
they still little buzzheads?
no. I mean, people are still in bondage, Biggie. Like, that's at the end of the day. Like, I
Yeah,
can only save myself,
that's
and
true.
I can
You have to look
pray
after
for
number one, don't you?
people. Yeah, exactly. I could be an example. I can do all of that, but my dad said a long time ago. He said that some people won't get it, and I think it's not that they can't, just people won't make the decision that
100%. Or
is
did I
no.
want to?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So your father, obviously, how bad of an alcoholic was he?
So, so people, when you say alcoholic, right, people, they don't see that for what it really is. Again, they see someone that can't function and doesn't work and doesn't do all these things. But my father, for as long as I've known him, my whole life since I was able to pay attention, he drank, and my parents, I mean, they drank daily, and it looked like love to me, right? Because they would get
No,
off
yeah.
work and they would drink, and whether they're drinking beer or taking shots and shooting pool, like that is how you loved on each other. Let me go pour you a drink. Let me pour you a beer, and that's a love language. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
Like, you're helping me unwind, and so a lot is based in that. Alcohol is how we show love. Alcohol is how we celebrate. Alcohol is
See,
how we grieve.
I'm from the Indian community, right? And mainly, it's not just Indian. I'm from the Punjabi community, which is like north of India, and where there's like proper drinkers. Even though we're supposed to be like have the turban on and everything, but the ones that don't, we're just party animals.
Party animals, yeah. And
Yeah,
it's across cultures though. It is
100%.
across cultures. Alcohol speaks everywhere, same as money. Alcohol is the center, and the world is really making it like a centerpiece for all environments. Like, you
It's
walk
like
in.
I've been on holiday in Europe, right? And so, for example, when I went to Greece, you got a strip, which is like a big strip of clubs and bars, and there's
Uh-huh.
like people just handing out like tokens, coupons to say, "Come in here, here's a coupon. You get 6 free shots." And at the time, it's brilliant, but then afterwards, you're drinking it, and then afterwards, you think to yourself, "Was that really worth it?"
Yeah.
and that's the only way they can promote people coming into their bar. And you
That's
know what
it.
the English community are like? They love it. They're like, oh, let's go,
Oh
let's have
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I had an event for St. Patrick's Day, but it was
Right.
a sober not somber event. And so we were all there and just showing, it's just seeing things. I never saw you can have fun without alcohol. So that's why I'm trying to show people we can get together on St. Patrick's Day. We can, I don't really care about St. Patrick's Day, but I do care about having a good time. Right.
Mhm.
So I used to be in the bar, but now it's like we're having fun. There's no alcohol. We're laughing. We're playing games. Like we're still doing things. It's possible. It's possible to have fun. Yeah, I need to. Lexia says she needs to visit UK. I do too. We need to come out to
Oh,
UK.
definitely. Lexi, hit me up when you're in the UK. Have you
Yes,
ever been to the UK,
I've never
Amber?
been. No, no. I
Now,
don't know.
Lexi, what were you? Have you been to the UK? It's going to be a bit slight delay, isn't it?
Wait, say it again.
I said there's going to be a delay in their writing. I just
Oh,
asked her.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if she's been to the UK. I know she's been out of the country, but definitely no. I would love to come. But yeah, make sure that you have things for people to do that don't involve alcohol. Like where people look at me like an alien, Biggie. They're like, I'm like, oh, I don't drink, and it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What I don't
I,
do,
I
like,
was actually I was actually the same as well. Hold on, she replied back. London. Yes, I have London. Okay, whereabouts in London, Lexi? London's massive. West London, East London, North London. Give me a name of a town.
and where are we going when we go to London? Because I want to go. Okay.
Okay, but you know what? I was actually the same as well. When I go out with my friends and I'm quite loud and proud as it is, so I'm mingling. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
So, but or like you, I'm the car driver, so doesn't matter. But some people are like, "Ain't you having a drink? You feeling alright?"
Yeah. What's wrong? Why are you not drinking? I've had people tell
Yeah,
me, I need to see you drink. Like this doesn't make sense to me. Like it's making me uncomfortable. And I'm like, are you
yeah,
serious right now? Like, but they're
that's
serious.
joke. Okay, so listen, what's the time now? 9 o'clock. It's been an hour, Amber. It's been absolutely fantastic. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
guys, don't forget to like, share, and comment, and subscribe. Not follow now, subscribe, and give this lovely lady here a subscribe and follow as well on her page.
Please.
But yeah,
Thank
keep it
you.
locked, keep it tuned in. Biggie, let's talk. And you nominated somebody, didn't you? Who did you nominate?
I nominated Lexia Crawford.
So
Mhm.
Lexi Crawford, soon
Yes.
come.
Bro. Mental health.
So I'll be talking to Lexi Crawford soon about her journey as well. But Amber, thank you very much, Amber, Coach Phoenix. Big
Thank you.
love,
Thank
and I
you.
wish you all the best. And
All
thank
right.
you very
God
much
bless
again for
you
coming
all.
on. Take care, guys. Peace out.
Thank
Later.